because whatever you are thinking is going to appear in your actions,
Yeah, and then it gets programmed in here.
right?
Welcome to the mindfultea podcast. On this show, we help people conquer their mind and their body with an open heart. I'm your host, Thanrajan Premakumaran, and on this show, we keep it nothing but raw and unfiltered, talking about anything and everything. I came out here on this very first episode to Barhead for a special guest that I hold very close to my heart. He's not only a friend, but a brother. And I don't mean just the word that you just throw around, calling brother, brother, brother. I'm talking about the actual meaning and the intention behind the word brother. He has helped me through my mental health. He has guided me when I didn't even see a path to go. I had the honors of working with him as a sheriff for the Alberta Sheriffs, and I had proudly watched him continued and further himself in his journey as now a respectable constable for the RCMP. He is now a father and the greatest man that I know. He is my friend, my brother, Ashish Rahl.
Thank you so much, bro. I'm honored. Thank you so much. That's too kind of you, bro.
You're
Seriously,
welcome, brother. You're welcome.
we always talk about this. I'm really honored that this is what you think about me, but um, yeah, but like no, thank you for the kind words. It's your greatness. Seriously, it just reflects your values, right?
Yeah.
And how the good you see in other people and how you can pick on those things, right? So no, and I'm very thankful to you for having me on a podcast. Trust me, this is like the first time I'm doing this ever in my life, right?
Oh,
So
I'm with you with that.
it's yeah, it's a different thing, right? Like something you're not used to. So yeah, like I'll really, bro, like I really don't know like what much I have to like offer to anybody, right? But like I'm seriously very honored that that's what you think about me. So thank you so much.
No, you're welcome, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah.
So how you been?
Uh, well, it's been all right,
Yeah.
a little tired, like you said, just became a father about 2 weeks ago. So yeah, things are different now, right? They change, of course, with this newborn. You have like this person who's sort of like dependent on you, right?
Yeah.
Like by dependent, I don't mean like much. Like all we can offer is like food and shelter, like, right? But then the rest is already taken care of by God, like, or the
Mm-hmm.
creator or whoever, right? Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, there's not a whole lot we can do except to like nurture them, but then it's ultimately up to the big guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
Um,
did you notice the change once your beautiful baby girl came into the world? Like, did you notice a change in your whole perspective in life?
oh,
Like instantly, or like,
instantly,
did you feel like
like,
that weight, or
yeah, well,
yeah,
not, I wouldn't say wait.
yeah,
Um, I would look at it more of a blessing.
yeah,
And the reason why I say that because it kind of motivates you to sort of try to become a role model for your kids,
yeah,
right? Because ultimately they are going to mimic everything you do, you know, everything you say. They are going to soak it up like a sponge.
oh, 100%,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
So um, I was I was reading this book and somebody asked this author a question about um, how should you parent your kids, right? Like how should you raise them and give them good values and whatnot. And only thing the author had to say was just do how you would want your kids to act like, right?
mm.
Because they're going to completely mirror you, right?
Oh yes,
Everything you do. So
yeah,
I don't see it as a weight. I see it as an opportunity to kind of further maybe advance yourself in life, and try to have some more self control, right? Have more respect for people, be more compassionate,
Yeah.
be more empathetic towards others, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so I wouldn't say wait, I would say more of a blessing. That's how I would look at it,
Yeah.
right? Because when you add things like weight, then it's like, like another thing I
Yeah.
have to do, right?
Like a negative connotation behind it.
Connotation
Yeah.
attached to it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'd say it's a blessing. It ultimately is. I mean, um, ultimately, nature, it's not just random. Things just don't happen randomly. This is again my belief, right?
Mm-hmm.
People don't always have to agree with me or disagree. They can disagree with me, but my belief is the nature, the creator, or whoever, the process, right? They saw an opportunity, right, in you for this life to kind of come into your life.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know if you understand what
No,
I
I
mean,
understand what you
right?
mean.
Like,
Yeah, it's timing.
yeah,
Like
the timing
divine
too, right?
timing. Yeah.
Like, it just couldn't have happened any other time.
Yeah.
This is how it was supposed to happen, right? And that's how it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like, my point is, it's a blessing in the sense, um, the nature kind of trusted in you, put its faith in you to basically take care of this little baby girl, right?
Yeah.
And try to maybe instill some good values,
Values. Yeah.
right?
Especially now
Um,
nowadays, it's good to have someone with that kind of mindset to do that because
of course,
they are the future,
yeah,
right? And it all starts with them and how you raise them, right?
exactly. And at the very basic level, if you think about it, the human race, it's our duty, right, to give good values to our future generations, so then we can have sustainable, a better world, right?
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
um that's essentially the essence of it, right? Like, it's not, we just make it so complicated. It's not very complicated. The It's a very basic, fundamental process. Like, all you have to do is essentially be the person you would want your kids to be. If there is something you don't like in other people,
Mm-hmm.
make sure you do not do the same thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Take the good and leave the bad. Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? I mean, even good and bad, everybody, they have their own definition, right?
Yes.
What's good,
Mm.
what's bad. Um, very hard to really distinguish that, because it's very subjective. What's something good for me could be bad for you, and vice versa, right? So,
Mm.
um, yeah, just, I don't know, right? Like, I think the basic fundamental thing is that, be who you are and what you would want your kids to be. That's all,
Yeah.
um
Do
yeah.
you think it's like so? How's your upbringing like? Because you're very humble and very empathetic, and like you have a way of understanding. Like you have emotional intelligence. I've noticed, and like even when I first met you, you openly talked and expressed about meditation, and you always were very calm and had a very calm demeanor and viewed life in a whole different perspective. I found. So, how was your upbringing like for you to be this person that you are today? And do you think that's gonna be passed on to now to your newborn?
Or, um yeah, upbringing, I was born in India. I live with my grandparents and my parents there, right? So, um really didn't have any issues there, right? But again, there's always highs and lows, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That's just the way life is, right?
yeah,
um Having said that, I was kind of steered into this direction, and I'm very blessed, and that's my mom.
yeah,
um she is a religious person, at least from my perspective, right? She has a huge influence in my life and kind of guiding me into that direction.
Yeah.
And you know, it's again, it's the timing, right? Certain things happen in your life and you're kind of forced to make that decision, you know. Things at first may not appear that they are going in your favor, but again, it's all about trusting the process, right? And
Mm.
the sooner we realize that, the better it is for us, you know, because look, you can think about something all you want, it's not going to change anything, right?
Yeah.
Unless you can do something about it, there's not a whole lot you can do, right? And again, like I said, it's a very simple, basic idea intellectually, but to actually put it into practice is where to put it into like everyday use. That's where the practice comes in from, right? Like you said, meditation. You know,
Yeah.
um, I mean, I'm not like see meditation. All meditation is really is to bring yourself back to the present moment. You could be potentially meditating throughout 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's possible,
Yeah.
right? You don't have to essentially sit like, you know, other people on the podcast, they talk about the same thing, right? Like you don't essentially have to sit on a chair or on the ground cross-legged, you know, in that pose. I mean, that's ideal if you could do that, of course,
Yeah.
but you could essentially be in the meditative state
State.
all the time.
When doing anything.
Anything,
Yeah.
exactly. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, even, you know, you're sitting down, it's so easy for you to just whip out your phone. I'm not like, I'm guilty of doing the same thing, right? Like, oh, it's so easy for me to just whip out my phone and kind of scroll through Instagram or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Social media, you know. Um, that's because that's where my energies are like kind of going in 100 million different directions, right? At the same time, probably want to watch a movie, you know, probably want to do so many other things, right? But like
Hmm.
essentially what it all comes down to, your present moment. You have to collect your thoughts, gather them, and remind yourself, okay, I'm kind of going in that direction, I gotta get myself back, you know.
Yeah.
And that's all it really is, you know. Like, it's not like there's not a scientific formula or anything like that. At the very basic level is just coming back to the present moment, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now that could be done in so many ways, you know. It's either watching your breath, there are those techniques too, right? Like, again, I'm not a certified teacher or anything. This is what I have done with my life, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
You know, watching your breath, or, you know, just focusing on your body sensations or whatnot, right?
Hmm.
Or if there is a chant, you do kind of recite that in the back of your head. You know, those are some of the ways you can kind of bring yourself back to the present moment. And yeah, and that's all it really is. Now, again, it doesn't mean somebody who practices meditation, like, you know, sitting down like the traditional ways, right?
Yeah.
They have their moments too, you know, ups and it's not like a journey that goes like this. It's very much like this, right?
Yes. This. Yeah.
There are, you know,
Highs and
drops
lows.
and rise and falls and whatnot, right? But
Yep.
again, the idea is meditation. It kind of helps you cope with those, you know, rise and drops,
Yeah.
if you understand what I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, you're able to kind of reground yourself, you know. Now, I can, if I had a bad day, for example, right? You know, I can come home and start drinking alcohol or start binging on watching movies or get myself in, you know, like in my Instagram, and then just kind of scroll through the whatever the content, right?
Yeah.
But then that it's just what we are really trying to do is not, we're just trying to ignore the present moment, right? And we are diverting all our energies into whether social media or drinking or what have you, just to kind of escape that. But it's not
Yeah.
really an escape, because ultimately, when that's done, you know, you're gonna have to come back
Back.
to the present moment and still deal with it,
Yeah,
right?
it's still there. Yeah.
It's still there. It's
Yeah.
not just going to disappear,
Yeah.
right? Now, having said that, you're like, how am I the person I am? Like I said, you are in life, you are sometimes forced to make spontaneous decisions right there, right then,
Yeah.
and I believe I'm just so fortunate to have a mother who I have, like because she had that influence on me, right?
Yeah.
The spiritual side, that she was the one who introduced me to it, I saw her doing that when I was a kid, right?
Hmm.
So I'm very blessed to have come out of her womb, as her child. Um, and I guess somewhere, they say if you sow a seed, you just never know when it's going to grow into a plant and then eventually turn into a tree. And by that, what I mean is somewhere deep down, she must have, when I was a baby or a kid or whatever, right? She must have said something to me, which was just as a seed in my mind. And finally, maybe I had this point of realization. I'm like, yeah, like I have to make decisions, like whatever it is, right? Like
Yeah.
you can call, like your irrational decisions or whatever, you're like, you have to kind of get away from those and be like, okay, now I have to, make a decision, for myself, right? Not
Yeah.
for anybody else, right? Like, am I going to continue on this path? Like, if somebody's on a wrong path, I'm saying, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Or am I going to change my ways and, try a different thing? Because essentially your mind is just programmed to a certain behavior because you have done it so
So many
much
times. Yeah.
since you were a child, right?
Yes.
um, and it's basically, it becomes a part of your nature, right?
Hmm.
Then instead of responding to anything, you are essentially reacting to it, right?
Yeah.
And like by that, I'm not saying I don't react to situations, right? I have my moments too, right? But
Hmm.
then again, to what degree, right? And then, but then with the meditation, you're able to be less reactive and more responding. And that kind of ties into parenting, because if I am, for example, snapping or reacting, that's essentially I'm teaching my daughter.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. You're right.
Straight and simple,
Yeah.
like that's all. There's
Yeah.
no rocket science behind it,
Yeah. You could
right?
say everything you want to say, but your
Yeah,
actions speak.
right.
Yeah. They learn from the actions.
From your
Yeah.
actions, even, yeah, exactly, right? They'll
Hmm.
pick up those cues, but
Yeah.
like you, yeah, like they cannot get into your head, but then because whatever you are thinking is going to appear in your
Hmm.
actions,
Yeah. And then it gets programmed in here.
right? So
That's, yeah.
if we are able to take care of our thoughts, we are able to take care of everything,
Hmm.
because your thoughts are the, they're the, that's where it generates, it's the beginning of whatever is going to be your next decision, so
Hmm.
it all originates from your thoughts.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anything, right? It all originates from your thoughts. So if you're able to take care of your thoughts, so for example, right, let's just say, for example, you and me had some sort of disagreement,
Hmm.
okay?
Hmm.
We talked about it, but then I go home and then I'm like, in my head, while I'm on the drive, I'm thinking, you know what? I should have told him this, how dare he said this to me, I've done so much for him and he doesn't respect me, and all that crap,
Hmm.
will come through your head,
Hmm. Yeah.
okay? Now, what meditation tells you, it's okay. This is your mind just playing tricks on you. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's all tricks, and nothing about it is real.
Real.
I could have said a million things to you,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
can sit here and criticize you for 5 days,
Hmm.
never stop thinking about the ways I could have criticized you when I was with you
Hmm.
in person, right?
Hmm.
But now that meeting is over, right?
Yeah.
Now I am in future. I'm on my drive back to my house, having all these thoughts. I'm just overthinking everything. I'm tiring myself out mentally.
Mentally.
Because
Yeah.
once you start to tire yourself out mentally, it will show in and physically in your body,
Yes. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because it's not just always physical fatigue. There is mental
Mental
fatigue
fatigue.
is just as important, you know,
Yeah.
if not more, because physical fatigue, you can still relax, go to sleep, whatever it is, stretch, you know, it'll go away. But what about mental
I think
fatigue? Like,
this.
what do you do about that?
I think that's a lot more worse because then when it's mental, now the chemicals and hormones are released, and that's
Yeah,
messes up your whole entire body. Yeah.
100%. That, well, that's what I mean,
Yeah.
right? It
Yeah.
all originates in your thoughts,
Thoughts.
right?
Yeah.
So now, for example, right? If I decide, oh, I'm going to be very complicated person, a very serious person, you know, it's not going to change anything that's going to happen in future,
Mm.
right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I don't have any control over it. Definitely it will change. Like I can also steer my life in the direction I want,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, if I'm like, for example, if I'm like, oh, I'm going to be, let's say, a very sophisticated person or appear to be that, right?
Yeah.
For no reason, for whatever, right? Then I'm just going to complicate my life, right? But if you try to just be more relaxed and simple and, you know, then you will find that simplicity will just show up in every aspect of your life, whether it's your work, you know, your family life, personal life, whatever it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, it all comes down to bringing your thoughts back to the
Present.
present, right?
Yeah.
And then deal with it. Whatever action is required, right?
Yeah.
You deal, but then again, deal with it in a calm and respectful
Definitely manner.
manner, right?
I agree.
Like I said, it's a very simple concept to talk about, you know, seems very easy,
But once
right?
you put
But
what's in front of you, that's the
yeah,
test right
it,
there.
it is a simple process. There is,
Yeah.
like I said, there's no rocket science behind it, right? It's just that to bring it into everyday life, to into practice, you have to, of course, dedicate some time to it,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
you will see very quickly it will show its effect. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah.
By that I mean meditation, right?
Yeah.
So there's so many different techniques, and honestly, that worked for me, right?
Yeah.
That really did. And like I said, for that, I'm very thankful to my mom, you know, for somewhere when I was younger, she sowed that seed in my mind, and then it kind of blossomed at, you know, later in my life, essentially, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I basically, yeah, that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah. Do you feel? I feel like you will. You probably pass that seed that was sown into your mind to your daughter,
I don't know,
but then
brother. I
you
don't
be.
know. And you know what? Talking about my wife, she's a great mom,
Oh yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. She's amazing.
I
Beautiful heart.
she's strong. I Man, when she was in labor, I looked at her and I've said this to her so many times. I'm like, you're so strong. I'm like, I couldn't have done that.
Yeah.
And you know what? Women, they have that special power. They do. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they
Mm-hmm.
might appear tiny, you know, some of them, like my wife, for example, right? She's not a big person by any measure, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like to give, you know, birth to the baby of that
Yeah.
size, I'm like, geez, like you are
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah.
She's a very strong woman.
Yeah.
She's a fighter, you know, and so is my daughter because, you know, according to like Hinduism, you know, it's when you're in the womb, right? Like essentially the child wants to come out of the womb and be into this world, right? It's not a
Yeah.
very easy time for that little baby either, right? To travel through that canal to come out, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
it's very difficult for both mom and the baby. And
Baby.
it's a very critical moment, you know. You're giving birth to this new blessed life, right?
Yeah.
Like you know, like how they just kind of hand it over to you, and just right then it's like what just happened, right? Like especially
Mm.
for the first time parents, I could relate to, right? It's like it's that moment. It's like you can't I can't describe those emotions, you know.
Oh.
It's like I had no idea what was going on. I was, and you know what, having said that, so you know, again, a little bit personal stuff here, right? But like um I was there throughout the labor with her, right? And the reason why I want to share this experience because it all ties into what I was telling you about meditation and being in the present moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, whatever entity you believe in, whether it's God, the nature, or any power, I don't believe there's just one God.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's God in all of us,
Yeah.
right? And by God, I don't mean like God is just a word to limit. I say a power or whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
I call it nature, you know,
Yeah.
like
It's in
that's,
all of us.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's in all
All of
of
us.
us,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I agree. That's how I feel. Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
So essentially, with my daughter, you know, like when my wife, she was in labor, I kind of just um, went with the flow, you know, like it just came to me naturally,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And it still fascinates me, like how nature works in you, like how it changes you as a person. But then again, the point is you have to be receptive of that,
Mm.
or you can resist.
Yeah.
Remember how we started talking about being it a burden or like like no, I see it as a blessing. It's an opportunity for us to kind of advance into. I see it, it's an advancement in the self, in the sense for me.
Mm-hmm.
um I'm getting to experience this and I see it firsthand how it has changed me,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Like, and by responsibility, I don't mean you have to have a responsibility just towards your family or your daughter. You have to have a responsibility towards everybody.
Yeah. It changes everything.
It's
Like your
towards
whole
everything,
aspect
your
in life.
environment.
Yeah.
We're trying to have so much control over plastic and whatnot because there we have a sense of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
We should definitely cut down on waste,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Right, so again, like, sorry, don't want to kind of steer too
Mm.
far away from the topic
That's
here,
okay.
but with my daughter, you know, sorry, with my wife being in the delivery room, I thought I would never be able to watch that process. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Mm.
Okay, I thought I would never be, I'm going to faint. There were two doctors on shift that day. I told the one of the doctor, very nice guy, and he's like, don't worry, trust me. He's like, I have two kids. He's like, you will not faint, you will in fact enjoy this, right?
Yeah.
And by enjoying, I'm not like saying clapping there and whatnot, but like you're actually going to experience
Experience
this,
and
you know,
appreciate the
this
moment. Yeah.
appreciate
Yeah.
this moment,
You're
exactly,
seeing it
right?
come first time.
So
Yeah.
now the very personal stuff was cutting the umbilical cord, right?
Oh yes. Yeah.
And I told him, I'm like, okay, fine, I'll watch whatever. Like, and I was there. Like I said, I didn't have to make a special effort to be there. I held my wife's hand and I was there pretty much throughout the entire moment, entire process for 5.5 hours, right?
Mm.
Intense 5.5 hours on you, on your mind, emotionally, your relationship with your wife and your, you know, your
Yeah.
your kid who's about to come into this life,
Yeah.
right?
A bunch
Into
of
this
roles.
world.
You're playing a bunch of roles, basically. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. But then it's happening
Mm-hmm.
as I am in the delivery
Mm-hmm.
room,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And you know what? The doctor gave me the scissors. He like cut the umbilical cord, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if I can. He said, you can. I trust me, without any second thought, I took the scissors and I cut the
Yeah.
umbilical cord,
Yeah.
right? And I like, and
How did it feel at that moment?
it like it was just like any other moment,
Yeah. Mm.
you know, like in the sense, yeah, it was different, you know. But like what I was trying to say to you, I've told this to my wife too. I'm like, it was like I was at work. It was like this was a duty for like as a I had to do this as a duty in the sense cut the umbilical cord, you know, like I kind of went in that mode is
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You know, I was in that, just I guess, you know, the reason why I said it was just like any other moment is because I was so intensely present at that moment. I can't describe that moment to you. I can't say it was a good moment. It was it was special.
Mm. Yeah.
You know, it was
Yeah.
special. Definitely. I was intensely present. I'm seeing this person coming into this world firsthand.
Yeah.
I trust me, I don't do good with needles and stuff. And that's another thing I discovered about myself after I got into law enforcement. With like the my current job, I've been through some really gruesome stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have been able to kind of cope with it quite well. And I always used to kind of underestimate myself,
Yeah.
undermine myself. I don't know if I'm cut for that, and trust me, for the longest time, that was what was keeping me away from policing, just to see that gruesome stuff. But it comes to you, right?
Yeah.
Like you just you just have to, again, like I said, come back to the present moment, cut down, because your mind will tell you 100 million things, right? It's not all true,
No,
you know.
it's like a mirage. Multiple plays playing in your head.
100%,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
right? You are in future, you're in past, you're like everywhere, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, like that's really all I can say about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So you find like, because I know in the law enforcement field, especially the field that you're in,
Yeah,
it's very high demanding, right?
yeah,
And you're always on the go, go, go.
of course, yeah.
So how do you manage to, and I guess it's basically what you said, being present, but like, how do you, for some people out there, how do you cut that? So it's like, okay, when I'm home, I'm home. I'm here with my family. I'm not thinking about work. I'm not stressing and worrying about work, you know?
Yeah, it is definitely a valid question, and that's something I would want to tell applicants who want to apply,
Yeah.
right? My experience has been it is quite taxing, and honestly, credit goes to my wife, you know.
Mm.
She, I don't know, there is just something about her, like, yeah, she's great, man. She puts up with a lot of drama.
Yeah, your wife is
You know
very,
what I mean? Like,
she has a beautiful soul,
uh,
I swear. Like, she's
she,
very,
yeah,
very calm,
bro. It's
very loving.
Yeah, like, she's something, man. Like the drama she puts up with.
Yeah.
It is, yes. Like I said again, very taxing, very demanding, physically, emotionally, mentally, right?
Yeah.
And it's very important to not drag that into your personal life.
Hmm.
And now you said, how do I cut that? Trust me, I can't cut it.
Yeah.
I can only try
Yeah.
as much as I can. Look, ultimately, it all comes down to one thing. I tell myself this, right? Being on call schedule, right? You can be called out
Anytime.
at any point,
Even
right?
right now. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
that's something that used to bother me. It still does every now and then. Don't get me wrong, right? What happens is, Danny, again, it's what you're telling yourself, right? Now, if I'm just gonna come home and just worry about getting called out, right? And it happens, I still struggle with it, right? Like I said, the journey isn't always like this,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
quite bumpy,
Yeah.
right? But the fact is, at least you have something to put to cope with, to
Yes.
put in place to cope with. You see
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
um I just have to tell myself, what's gonna happen is gonna happen. There's nothing anybody can do or do about it. If there is going to be a call coming in while I'm off duty, well, then there's going to be a call coming in when I'm off duty. What are you going to do about it?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to sit here and cry and complain and not go to sleep
At some point.
and bother other people, and first bother yourself, let
Yeah.
alone other people? Like, before you start bothering other people with anything, how much have you already bothered yourself, right?
Yeah. It's
So
taxing on the
you
mind.
have gone through so many steps, right, for it to actually, or then for it to actually come to a point where other people are being bothered by it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or I can just tell myself, look, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, right? Because that's what bothers me, right? Like, when I'm sleeping, I just want to sleep, right? I don't like somebody bothering me, right? But
Yeah.
again, this is something I should have thought about before applying, and they had told me, like, it's not hidden or they tell you, like RCMP lays it out on their website, like
Yeah,
you will
this is
be
what to expect.
required
Yeah.
to work anywhere within Canada,
Mm-hmm.
you have to you have to respond at a short notice, right?
Yeah.
Work holidays and whatnot. It's all laid out, it's
Yeah.
not,
This is
they
the role of the
haven't
job.
hidden
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
from anyone, right?
Yeah.
So, but again, they say in sheriffs too, they say, I've heard it everywhere, this term, it's you who's signing that dotted line. They don't have, a gun to your head and telling you you have to sign it.
No, you
It's
willingly.
you're
You read
willingly
it.
like, yeah, you
Yeah.
read it.
You said
There's,
yeah.
and you're like, yep, I'm ready to do it. So
Yeah.
now, when I'm gonna do that and then go to work and complain, then
Well,
what good is that,
no, there's
right?
such a waste of energy and time.
Yeah, bro,
Yeah.
look where I am.
Yeah.
I love this place, man. Like, could I have planned this out any better myself? No.
No.
We all have this idea, oh, I want my life to work out this way, Trust me, your life never ever works out in that fashion. And fortunately, it doesn't work out like that, because we would make a mess out of our lives, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Let nature do what it's supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
Don't mess with it too much, The moment you start messing with it too much, all you're doing is messing up yourself,
Yeah.
right? And then essentially you will pass it on to your future generations,
Yeah.
It's no rocket science, like I've been saying from the beginning. You just have to take care of yourself, and rest, everything has already been taken care of by God, or that nature, or superpower, whatever you want to call it, anything you can call it, Shiva, Ganesh, Krishna, anything, right?
Yeah.
It has already been taken care of.
Um,
All comes down to your perspective. It's up to you whether you want to create a negative emotion or whether you want to create a positive emotion in your mind.
Yeah.
Whether you like to be miserable, it's up to you.
At the end of the day,
Right?
it is. Yeah. You had that choice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who else is doing that? Is somebody else sitting in your head doing that for you?
No.
No. Right? It's you who is doing that. It's so ultimately the responsibility, again, responsibility, right, falls on you, for you to take care of your mind, right? Once you take care of your mind, everything is going to work out.
100%. Yeah.
Life
Yeah.
is not complicated. There's what are you doing to survive right now? I mean, of course you're eating, but your very essence of breathing, are you doing anything extra to breathe right now? Is there anything extra you have to do? Do you have to think about, oh, I forgot to take a breath, it's been 5 minutes? It's a natural process. It's happening within you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not making it happen.
No, it's naturally happening.
You can
by
do
yourself.
whatever the hell you sorry, excuse my language. You can do whatever you want outside. You can build big mansions, big buildings, build many new things, for sure. But the moment that very essence of your breath is taken away from you, it's all useless.
Yeah.
Really, like, what are you gonna do? It's all useless. You're gonna take it with you?
No.
What are you gonna take with you? Nothing.
Nothing, bro. You come in this world with nothing. You
Right.
leave with this world with nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Not
Yeah.
even this body.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
What if I tell you, okay, yeah, I have $5 million in my bank account? Good for you. Are you gonna take it with you?
No. Man. No.
All it is. See, what was I telling you, right? There are many ways to bring back yourself to this present moment, and one of them is watching your breath.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Okay.
this.
Yeah.
This is not forever. They're not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed you're gonna be living for the next even 20 seconds.
Yeah.
The sooner you come to terms with your mortality, you'll be like, nothing else matters. The fact I'm alive is the only thing that matters. Really, what else matters?
Nothing. You being alive just matters. You're alive. You got a day
I'm
to try
sorry,
again.
right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be like morbid or anything.
Yeah.
And my family, I have a beautiful daughter. She has a number of breaths written. She's not going to outlive those,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Wow. Well, thanks, bro. Thank you so much for sharing. Hopefully some of these tools and advice would help you guys out there. I wish we could have a bit more time, but maybe we'll set up something down the road again.
Of course, yeah. This is exciting,
Bro, I'm sorry, excuse my language. I'm so excited. I've been wanting to do this, and man, you have been a big encouragement.
No, I'm so thankful to you for having me. I by no means I think I'm a wise guy. I have so much to work on. I just want people to just spread, you know, basically a good message,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Just take care of yourself, really.
Yeah.
We don't have control over everything as much as we would like to, but the essentially take care of yourself,
So,
and yeah. But
100%.
no, thank you so much for having me on the show.
Bro, thank you. Like and subscribe. I see you on the next one. Much love. Peace.